Mr. Vegas coming to you live in stereo and high definition. 100 days without poker, 100 days of Corona. Check this out. I'm watching YouTube and run into this video. The guys are playing poker. It's from Italian Western with Terence Hill, Bud Spencer, the guy with the beard, and Terence Hill, the guy that deals. Check this out. This guy cuts, and I don't know, did you catch that? Later in a hand, everybody has a full house and he has quad aces. So they're playing a 5-card draw. You get 5 cards and then you can, there's a round of betting, then you can replace cards you don't like. You keep, let's say, a pair, get another 3 cards, and another round of betting. And now everybody gets a full house. Showdown, you can see it's all full house. This one has full house. This guy shows quad 7s. And the guy that was dealing shows quad aces. So here's something interesting I want to show you. Look at this. He gives him card to cut, and then he puts it back. Did you catch that? Let's watch it again. See that? Well, this is something that reminded me on the days when I started playing poker. That's how we started, playing a short deck, 5-card draw. That was French version of poker that we knew, and we called it French poker. This actually reminded me, these are things I was doing, and that's why I wanted to talk about short deck poker from back in the day when I started. Goofy stuff like that, that's what we were doing. Poker history tells us that the game came to America through Louisiana, and French game that in those days had 5 suits and 5 cards of each suit. From that game, it developed to what we know today as a poker. I don't know what they really played at Wild West and what Doc Holliday and Wyatt Earp played, but it's not really Texas Hold'em that we know today. Because of the French origin of a game, we call it in those days French poker. And it was played with 32 cards, the short deck. That's today gaining popularity. And you can see on YouTube videos and their TV shows when they play only short deck. Short deck today is played actually with 36 cards. They discard deuces, 3s, 4s, and 5s. Pound One was talking in one video about the game when they, like round by round, they change. So they throw up 6s out and put 5s back in the game. And ranking of a hand, it depends, it varies. For example, it normally starts with a high card, 1 pair, 2 pair, straight, that's beaten by 3 of a kind. Not like in Hold'em, straight beats 3 of a kind, no. 3 of a kind is harder to make, so 3 of a kind beats straight. Then full house, and then flush beats full house. Again, not like in a Hold'em. So that's based on a math calculations and probability, what's easier to get, what hand is easier to make. And normally then quads, straight flush, and royal flush.
1, it's harder to hit flushes. Now when you have a flush draw, you only have 5 outs left instead of having 9 outs. 2, Jack 10 and Ace King are basically a coin flip. If you have a set against a straight, you didn't get it in behind. If you're on the flop, you're actually a small favorite. Remember the ace can be a 5 though. So again, ace 6, 7, 8, 9 is a straight, but you'd still lose to any 10. Straights and straight draws. Straights happen a lot and straight draws are worth a lot more. If you have a straight draw on the flop, let's say it comes king 7, 8 and you have 9, 10 and the other guy has ace king. My math's a little rusty, but it's something right around 50-50. And if the guy had, say, king jack, for example, he's actually a little bit more of a favorite because he blocks her straight a little bit, and if you hit 2 pair, he makes a straight. So there's all that math stuff to figure out later, but it makes for a pretty good poker game.
This What I'm talking about is played like Texas Hold'em. Normally with you get 2 whole cards and then flop is 3 cards, burn the card, then turn, burn, and river card. But the game I played was a little bit different. So let's talk about that. I started playing poker immediately after high school. That summer, I remember, I went in my neighborhood one day in the apartment where some older guy in the neighborhood lived, a couple years older only, but all that crowd, I knew them from the neighborhood. It's just that we were not really friends because I was younger than them, 2-3 years. We played the game there, and I even don't know how did I know the rules. Maybe just from Western movies, because in my house nobody played poker. I never played even with my friends poker. So this was first cash game I ever played, and I was getting lucky. I was killing them. I took all their money and come down to that I was not able to leave. They want to keep playing and then borrowing money and stuff like that. They just don't want to let me go. I had at that moment probably, I think, like my mom's monthly salary. That's how much it was. I never saw that much money in my hands. After that, start playing regularly there in the neighborhood. And then when mom goes in the morning to work, I had those guys from neighborhood coming to my place, and we played. Usually from 8 in the morning, whoever is awake, he comes straight, they know. And then some kids from the neighborhood that were still going to high school. I just finished high school that summer, but kids from the neighborhood skipping high school and coming to the game. Mostly we played just with coins, whatever you have, little quarters. I don't remember much paper money at the table. And I was running that game at my place for probably about 10 years, every day. Every day. Winter comes, windows closed, there is like a bunch of people in a small room around the kitchen table, everybody's smoking. Smoke is so thick you can cut it with a knife, but it's cold to open the window. They had to leave at 3 o'clock because my mom works from 7 to 3 and she's usually home about 3:30. I played regularly, and whoever comes, they take turns. There was always even a few of them waiting and just watching. We played 4 players only. Why? Well, short deck. So we take out deuces, 3s, 4s, 5s, 6s, and then we start from 7s and up. That is 32 cards. The poker I told you that's today popular, especially in China, short deck includes 6s, so it's 36 cards. Now think about it. In Texas Hold'em with a deck of 52, we are used that one each you're out is 2%. Well, here it's a little different. It's if you play 36 deck or 32 cards like I played, it's about 3%. So it's 100 dividing with 30, because you have 2 cards that you know, other 30 unknown. Each out is 3.3%. So everything changes, and you have to be aware. Also, the way, like I said, 3s beat your straight. And I don't remember even, did I know any strategy, or I was just lucky and playing my hands. I was winning almost every day. And I'm pretty sure, like 95% of time that we played at my place, I was winning. Well, it was kids, smaller, younger guys, like 16, 17 from the neighborhood. They maybe even didn't know to play poker. And it's not that I knew what I'm doing, but somehow I was winning. Now, playing 32 cards. So it's 4 players at the table only. Why? Well, think about this. You have 32 cards. You deal each player 5 cards. and there is 12 cards left. Usually what we do, we try to pick to see what's the bottom card. Everybody has to put ante. So every hand, there's no blinds, everybody has to put ante. So we have now 4 antes in the pot. So once we deal the cards, normally we look what we have, and there's a round of betting. So this guy, he looks at his hand, he doesn't have anything, he actually has a flush draw, but he gonna say check. Next guy, he looks his hand, and he has pocket aces, so he's gonna bet. He can say, let's say 3, so he puts 3 chips. Or we played for coins, we never had paper money, we were poor. Third player, this one is losing the most of the time. He looks, and he has pair of 7s, so he's gonna call. He calls with 3. I look. So usually there's 20 cards in play, 12 left. So usually if you have a pair, you're gonna replace these 3 cards, so he needs 3. He's gonna mark this. This one has a pair. He wants to replace 3 cards. This one, pair of 7s, he's gonna replace 3 cards. I have here pair of 8s, I'm gonna replace 3 cards. So watch the magic now. He gets 3, this one gets 3, this one gets 3, and I get 3. That's 32. That's why we played 32, not 36 or more. Now I wanna show you some other stuff. Now let's say comes a moment, this guy was dealer, the deck is coming to me. While they're finishing hand, I grab these leftover cards and kind of, I'm just picking them up. Look at this, here are 2 aces. I take those aces, put them on the bottom. Picking up the rest of the deck while they're finishing the hand. Oh, look at this, there's another ace. I just pull that ace. Now I have 3 aces on the bottom. And that moment they're done with the hand, pick up the rest of the cards, and now have to shuffle. There's 3 aces on the bottom. You first put those aces down, and then you kind of shuffle in the rest of the deck. 3 aces still on the bottom. You do that like a couple times. Then, like in that movie, you give this guy to cut. Let's say he cuts. Now, 3 aces are here. If I pick them up and put on the top of the spot, the way it should be, they're gone. At that moment, I usually, because there's like 5 to 10 people in the room, somebody's getting the drink, somebody's messing with some kitchen stuff over there. At that moment, I yell, "Hey, what you doing over there?" And then get this, put it back. Same like in the movie. If that didn't work, and let's say this guy was looking at the deck because he's cutting normally, he didn't turn his head around, I take that, that's now bottom, put the pinky there, put this rest of the deck where the aces are over the pinky, and just get ready again, like getting ready to deal, and again I go like, "Hey, your ante is missing," and that moment this guy looks that way, and then at that moment all you have to do, I'm now out of practice, but you just have to put those aces back on the bottom. Now we deal. Twelve cards left, 3 aces on the bottom. So now I know I'm getting those 3 aces for sure. If I have a pair here, or maybe another ace, and I have a pair of queens. So I know I'm gonna have aces full of queens. So I have to change 3 cards. 12 cards left in the deck. If everybody changes 3 cards, I'm getting at the end those 3 aces. 3 aces. But this guy, he maybe even had 2 pair. So let's say he has 2 pair. So he's gonna replace only 1 card. This guy, he's gonna replace 3 cards. And this guy is gonna replace 3 cards. I'm replacing 3 cards, keeping pair of queens. Now, am I gonna get those aces? No. Because 1 and 3 is 4, and 3 is 7. And I'm getting another 3, 10. So that means that 2 aces are gonna stay down, I'm not gonna get all 3. So what I have to do is, because this guy is not taking 3, so it's 4 times 3 is 12, I have 12 cards, I have to somehow, again secretly, by yelling, what's going on over there, nobody's looking at that, I move a little bit like below the table, and so they don't see, and because he's taking only 1 card, not 2, I have to remove those top 2 cards, put on the bottom. That happens here. Okay, is everything okay? Let's deal. Here's 1 card, 3 aces for me, and 2 extra cards that this guy didn't take going on. That was so cheesy and so stupid, you would say now, but I didn't know to stack the deck, and this is the best I could do. So here we go. Now, I have aces full. Usually that should be good. That should be good. And I need maybe 2 or 3 times, and we play for 6-7 hours. I need maybe once every 2 hours to do this and get nice pot. Especially if there was some betting pre-flop, some raise, re-raise, I know what I'm gonna get. Yeah, that's called cheating, but it was in my house and it's my rules. Today, the short deck that they play is 36 cards, like I said. They use 6s also, so then it's harder to do this. You have extra card, 4 cards to remove, so it wouldn't be that easy. And that's why we played only 4. You cannot play 5. So that was the game I played. That's how I started. Didn't know percentages, didn't know rules, didn't basically just play the hand, or if I can steal, like I show you. Later, a couple years later, I started playing even some bigger games when there was no coins. It was played with paper money, we come loaded. But at that moment I thought I know what I'm doing. Still, trust me, didn't know anything about percentages, didn't know what are the odds to make a straight or a flush. Today's players, even young kids, even my 10-year-old son, he knew the outs and odds and percentages. I didn't know in those days. How did I play for those 7-8 years? After that, few years after that, when that game ended, game stopped when I started working. A few years later, I packed and I came to America. I went to Las Vegas next year for the first time, made it to Las Vegas, and I remember I was in a Golden Nugget, and I was wondering, why would you play the poker in casino? Because I'm used to playing at home. You don't need to go to casino, just invite guys at your house and treat them. That's easy. I learned Texas Hold'em. First learned actually 7-card stud, because that is what was the game played in 80s and 90s, more than Hold'em. Then Texas Hold'em exploded like around 2000 with, Moneymaker. And right now I'm still playing, not cheating, because we're playing in casinos. I like the game, I like excitement, I like the smell of the casino, noise of the machines, slot machines. And this Corona quarantine kills me. Cannot go to poker rooms. I think a couple of days ago, Ocean's 11 in Oceanside opened, so that's another in my area. In LA, they're opening, I think, everybody commerce, bike. So pretty soon, maybe I think after 4th of July, I'm gonna start rounding up again. Make a little poker tour, South California, here I come. Till then, good luck on a felt if I see you down the road, and adios.